Ladies and gentlemen of geometry, we're looking at the beginning of Unit 2. Unit 2 deals a lot with parallel lines and transversal. So basically what happens when two parallel lines get cut by a third, and what kind of happens, what gets created, and what is true about those things. So start off parallel lines. Parallel lines fit into two categories. One is that they are coplanar. So they have to be on the same plane. Two is that they are going to be equal distance apart, what we call equidistance. And three, never. So coplanar, equidistant, never touch. Skew lines look kind of like this. All right, skew lines look kind of like this situation. Okay, they are non-coplanar, so they're not going to be on the same plane. All right, they don't touch, but they're not parallel. Okay, so they do not touch, but they're not parallel. So line M and line N are skew. Parallel planes are exactly what it sounds like. They're like parallel lines. They're going to be equal distance, and they're never going to touch. Transversal. Transversal is basically what goes through the two parallel lines, intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So here, line T is your transversal. All right, interior angles refer to all the angles on the inside. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exterior angles are going to be what is on the outside of the parallel lines. Outside parallel lines 1, 2, 7, and 8. Now, consecutive interior. There's a whole bunch of other relationships that happen here. So consecutive interior, when I'm looking at this, think about what it says. Consecutive means next to, interior means inside. So I'm looking at consecutive interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. So I'm looking at 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. Those are going to be consecutive interior. Alternate interior, still inside, but now we're saying go on the opposite side of each other. It's going to have 3 and 5 and 4 and 6. Those will be alternate interior. Exterior, so alternate, opposite side again. Exterior, this time we're moving outside. So alternate exterior would be like 1 and 7 and 8 and 2. That's going to be alternate exterior. And corresponding is pretty easy. Corresponding basically is angles that are in the same location. Angles that are in the same location. They're in the same side of the transversal and the same side of the parallel lines, like 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 4 and 8, 3 and 7. So those are going to be the choices here. Now, perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines form to meet a 90-degree angle or right angle. Vertical angles are always going to be congruent. All right, congruent means same measure. So 1 and 3 are vertical, 2 and 4 are vertical. You've got to remember this. This shows up a lot. Vertical angles are always going to be congruent to each other. Vertical angles are going to be congruent to each other. Linear pair, just kind of reviewing from Unit 1, two angles that make a line, and they're always going to be equal to 180 degrees. Two angles make a line, they've got to add up to 180. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 1. So in the following sketches, two lines are cut by a transversal or parallel. To indicate the lines parallel, extra arrows are put on them. So this tells me that those two are parallel. Using only your knowledge about vertical angles and linear pairs, fill in the measures for the rest of the angles. Okay, well, this is 118 by vertical angle, that's 118. This is 62, that's 62. These two are a linear pair. This and this are a linear pair. So if I take 180 minus 62, that's going to be 118. So that means that's going to be 118. That's going to be 118. This one and this one are vertical angle or are linear pair. So 180 minus 118 equals 62. That makes this 62 and this 62. So just by knowing vertical angles and linear pair, I figured out that for all 8 of those angles, I only get 2 measures. So here, 97, that's going to be 97, 83, 83. Linear pair tells me these two have to add up to 180. So that makes that one 83 and 83. That makes 97 and 97. So take a look, fill in the blank, kind of make your ideas here just by what do we have in the picture. 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal, then alternate interior angles, or what? Well, let's figure this out quick. So this is 125, this is 125. That means this has got to be 55, 55, 55, 55. So alternate interior angles, that's these two and these two. Well, they look congruent to me, so I'm going to go with congruent. So how about alternate exterior angles? Well, alternate exterior angles, like this one and this one. Well, those two look congruent too, so I'm going to go with congruent there too. Corresponding angles, remember those are in the same location, so let's look. So 55 and 55, 125, 125, 125, 125, 55, 55. Those look congruent too. So far all these are congruent. Let's see what else happens. Interior angles, the last one. Well, consecutive interior angles, I'm looking at these two and these two. So consecutive angles, 125 and 55, that's going to be 180, 55, 125 is going to be 180. So here I'm going to go with supplementary. Equals 180 degrees. So based on what we know, let's see if we can figure these out. So X and 51, these are consecutive interior. So that means these two together are going to equal 180. So 180 minus 51. So I get X because of consecutive interior angles. Number 2, look at where they are. Opposite sides of the transversal, outside the parallel lines. I'm going to go 94 because these are going to be alternate exterior angles. All right, last one. 105 and 2x plus 1. I'm going to say those two are equal. So x is going to be 52 because of alternate interior angles. 52 right there. All right, so now let's keep going. Let's finish this off. So y, you got interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, whatever. So here, look, this one and this one in the same location. So those two are going to be equal to each other because they're corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. This is the symbol for angle. So 3x minus 6 equals 81. 3x is going to equal 87. So x is going to be equal to 29. 29 for what x is equal to by corresponding angles. Here, boom, boom, again, alternate interior angles, both inside, but they're on opposite sides of here. So 8x minus 15 equals 5x plus 3. So, little algebra. I get x to be 6. Here, I don't think I've extended out, but I can. These two are going to be same side interior. So that's going to be consecutive interior angles. So that means these two together are not equal to each other. 180. So that's 17x plus 10 equals 180. 17x equals 170. Subtract 10. Divide. That's going to be 10. So you've got to be familiar with all of these relationships. Okay? Basically, the only one that is not congruent is this one right here, the consecutive interior. All right, come talk to me with questions.